What happens when you let your identity get tied up into something outside yourself? For 7 years, I built a company and it became a key part of my identity. Every ounce of my self-worth was tied to it. And then I sold the business. This is not a story about money. It's a story about who you are when the thing you've built is no longer yours, and how I had to untangle my identity from the work before it crushed me. And maybe, just maybe, it's a story that'll get you thinking about where your identity lies right now. I've spent most of my life building things, creative projects like photography and videos, multiple companies, and beliefs that became so deeply integrated into myself that they became an extension of me. A couple of years ago, I made the hardest professional decision of my life, and I sold the business that I had been building for 7 years. And the truth is, when you build something from nothing, it can become a core part of your identity. It can be a business you build like it was for me. It can also be a skill like cooking or a sport, anything external that you put effort into becoming good at. So when you let it go, you have to face a very scary question. If I don't have this anymore, who am I? So let's rewind. I had been in video production for well over 15 years, and 7 of those years were spent building my own company from the ground up. And when I say built, I mean every part of it. The sales calls, the project planning, the editing, the hiring, the gear runs. Building a business is intense, and when you add in other people's livelihoods into the mix, it takes on this whole new mixture of stress and intensity. And it's one thing to put effort into what you do for work, but when it's tied directly to what others think of your personal skill and capability, that's where I let it take control of my identity. Every video or project we produced and released was an extension of me as the head of the company and as the main creative. And honestly, because we were successful from the beginning, producing award-winning work every year, I built up a narrative in my mind that I couldn't allow anything but perfection to be produced. And because of all of that, my company wasn't just something that I owned. It was proof of my worth, my reputation, and by extension, my identity. I think this is where a lot of us get stuck. Whether you're a founder, a creative, a leader, whatever your role is, we start out doing something because we love doing it or we believe in it. But over time, those lines blur. It's no longer I run a business. It becomes I am the business, or the business reflects who I am. And therein lies the problem. When your identity is tied into what you do, you set yourself up for failure. Because what happens if you no longer are able to do that thing? What happens if you sell it or you burn out from it or something outside of your own control forces you to stop doing that thing? Is our self-worth tethered to what others think of us? This is what I was grappling with as I decided to accept the offer that came from one of our largest clients for what is called an acqui-hire. Selling the business was surreal. I remember the moment the ink dried, I was not only excited for the new season, but also deeply unsettled. It felt a lot like I was just closing the book on a character I'd been playing for years. It was freeing in many ways, but it also set me adrift, untethered to an anchor I had relied on for so long. But here's what I learned through that awkward, quiet space. What you do is not who you are. That might seem simple, but some of the core truths in life often are. Your worth is not how well you can create or speak or do any task. Job titles are temporary. They change over your course of life. And the logo on your shirt is temporary. And if all of that went away tomorrow, you would still have something that matters. Your character, your relationships, your values, your faith, all of that is who you are, not what you do. If you haven't read the book, The Courage to be Disliked, I highly recommend it. It changed a very big viewpoint in my own life. And this is a deep book full of many different types of wisdom, but one of them that pertains to identity is the core concept of the book, which is your happiness and fulfillment in life is directly related to how you contribute to others, of being useful. This might sound like it reinforces the identity piece of being tied up into external capabilities, but there is a deeper connection here. How we contribute to others, to our communities, can change. And frankly, they should change and will change as we get older. And that's freeing. You can start new seasons of life at any age. Colonel Sanders started KFC at age 62. I bring that up a lot because it reminds me that it's never too late to change your story. So if you're facing a decision that might shake your identity, here's what I'd tell you. The first one is don't decide in isolation. When I was weighing selling the company, I called people who had done that before. I asked mentors I trusted, and I even talked to people who weren't in business at all, but who I thought were just doing life well. Sometimes wisdom comes from outside your industry. The second one is remember you're not stuck. Even if it feels like the only identity you have is tied to what you're doing now, that's not the truth. You've lived through change before, and you can do it again. The third is trust your gut. People will have opinions. Some will say it's the wrong move, but if you've done your homework, you've sought counsel, and it still feels right, trust that. In my own case, selling wasn't just a business move. It was a personal reset. It was me saying, I'm willing to find out who I am without this thing. So let me leave you with this. If you had to walk away from what you're doing today, would you still know who you are? I'd love to hear your story, so please drop it in the comments below and tell me about a time that you had to let go of something that felt like a part of your identity. And if this resonated, please like and subscribe to the channel. I talk about the real side of building and sometimes letting go of the things that we love.